From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, April 15th, 2015. Silver is trading at $16.17 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,293 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $224. Antiwar.com reports while talking up a new round of humanitarian aid, White House officials said no new military aid would be sent to Iraq at this time, a de facto rejection of Prime Minister Haider Abadi's recent call for more weaponry. The White House is not representing it as a rejection, however, denying that Abadi ever specifically brought up the request for more arms during his White House visit. Abadi's calls for more weapons were repeated and loud during his visit to the U.S., however, and if he did not bring it up in the closed-door meeting with President Obama, it would only be because he was told beforehand he would not be getting any. The U.S. has struggled to justify its repeated influxes of military aid to Iraq, both because of the Iraqi military tendency to lose billions of dollars worth of advanced U.S. weaponry to the Islamic State, and because Iraq's increasingly checkered humanitarian rights record. The $200 million in humanitarian aid announced will focus on refugees displaced during the ongoing war with the Islamic State and is likely to be less controversial, though since it too will flow through the Iraqi government, expect there to be lots of eyes on the equity of distribution between the Sunni Arab, Shiite, and Kurdish refugees. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports a group of guerrilla artists who placed a bust of NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden atop a column in a New York park only to have police confiscate it are demanding for the sculpture to be returned. The 4-foot, 100-pound bust of Snowden was placed atop a column that is part of the prison ship Martyrs Monument in Fort Greene Park in Brooklyn on April 6th. The name Snowden was also attached in large typeface at the base of the column. The NYPD removed the statue mere hours later and said they are keeping it as part of the investigation into the incident. The anonymous artists now say they want the sculpture back so they can put it on display through all the proper channels. New York City Parks Advocates President Jeffrey Croft told 1010 WINS in New York that the artists want to apply to have the sculpture put on display through the city's Arts in the Park program. Croft said, "Arts in the Park has been a long held tradition, and having the city seize a work like this simply just doesn't make sense. We feel it is censorship and it sends the wrong message." But it takes months for the application to be approved, so a local gallery in Manhattan has agreed to show the work in the meantime. Croft, along with attorney Ron Kuby, sent a letter to the NYPD asking for the bust to be released. ExpressCoin is the best choice for buying Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and more. ExpressCoin prides themselves on their customer service, so much so that the back end on the website should allow them to be even more focused on your needs. Get your cryptocurrencies with money order, check, wire transfer, or cash deposit. Get started at expresscoin.fppradio.com. That's expresscoin.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Boko Haram militants have kidnapped at least 2,000 girls and women since the start of last year, turning them into cooks, sex slaves, and fighters, and sometimes killing those who refuse to comply. A 90-page report from Amnesty International based on dozens of interviews with witnesses and escaped abductees comes a year after the group seized more than 200 schoolgirls from Chibok, a community deep inside an area of northeastern Nigeria the fighters claimed as their caliphate. The kidnapping and a video showing the captured girls dressed in dark hijabs soon afterwards provoked international outrage. But the majority are still missing despite Western pledges to help track them down and a Canadian attempt to broker their release. Boko Haram's leader, Abubakar Shekau, claims the girls have been married off to his fighters. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.